mama, I'm mama, I'm mama, mama, I'm mama, I'm mama, mama. Hi mama, thank you so much for watching. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my breastfeeding journey and what I've learned about breastfeeding. Please note that I am not a professional, so what I do is just from my experience. So if you have problems with breastfeeding, please do consult your medical practitioners and they will be able to assist you. So let's talk about my story. So when Tito was born, right, I didn't have milk for 3 days. So what I did was I went, and I bought this thing because I was watching so many videos and they said that this is a must-have. So I thought that this was a breast pump. Like an actual breast pump, but I didn't know that it's actually like a extra let down, like extra things. It's like, I don't know how to put it it's like an extra let down thing that you use for your milk. So what I did was, when the milk wasn't coming out, I started, I just put it there on my boob and I automatically thought that the milk was going to come out, and nothing came out. It was just small little droplets of milk. But for 3 days I did not have any milk. I repeat, nothing. And I was panicking. So while I was in the hospital, I decided to, the pediatrician said that so the pediatrician said that I should give the baby some formula because there's no milk and the baby's hungry and the baby's screaming and making noise for everyone else in the hospital. So might as well give her some formula. So we gave her the formula. And then, guys, when the milk came, it was like whoosh, floodgates were like out. Yeah, she's laughing. Floodgates were out. Okay, so I had an oversupply. Mother's worst nightmare. Okay, so either you have oversupply or undersupply, or you're just a normal person. So I had an oversupply. So oversupply just means that I had too much milk. And because I had too much milk, I was always leaking. My boobs would like enlarge and become like super big. If Teta was not on the boob, they would become hard like rocks, and they would be painful. So I was always literally pumping, trying to let the milk down so that I can get relief. When I would sleep and I'd wake up, my bed would be like wet. So I literally had to put like a towel. And when I slept, because I knew it's happening, there's too much milk. So that happened for like 3 months, and then after that my milk became better because then it knew how much Teto would take. So what I used to do for my oversupply was I got myself some breast pads. So because I didn't want to be walking and then I'm wet, so I used to use breast pads quite a lot. And then when I ran out of breast pads, what I did was I took, your normal pads that we use as women. I just cut them in half, and I take one and put it in here, put it in there, and it worked because it's it's a pad, and they use the same material as the breast pads, just that the other one is not a breast pad. So that is what that was about my breastfeeding journey. So the disadvantages of it was I didn't like it, and it almost made me stop breastfeeding because Teto would choke. So because my milk was like a lot, it's every time she would suck it, it was like, this is a race, stop. She'd be like sucking, sucking very fast, and I didn't understand why she was sucking so fast. I'd be like, oh my gosh, this child is such a fast eater. But no, apparently the milk was coming out so much that she was trying to keep up, and she couldn't keep up. So you find that she'd be sucking, trying to finish all this milk, and then she'd end up choking, vomiting. It was the worst because she'd vomit like projectile vomit. It would come out through her nose, and then would sit there and kind of be like, ah. So what I started to do, and that started happening a lot now, I started to pump and put it in a bottle so that I can measure, and it's an easier flow for her. So that was some of the things that I did when it came to breastfeeding. So I'm going to be showing you guys some of the tools that I used while I was breastfeeding, which I loved a lot. So as I said, I used this quite a lot. So when she would feed on one side, I would take this and put it on the other boob, and basically what would do is there would be like a let down, almost like whatever is left over, whatever wants to come out from the other boob would be here. And remember guys, I had oversupply, so I could, just by putting this on my boob, I could get a good 90 milliliters, which is like heaven. Yeah, so that worked very, very nicely. I really like this. So I'd recommend that you get yourself this little pumpy thing, the silicone pump. And then the other thing that I used was I used a manual breast pump. Okay, so I used it, guys, because for me it was cheaper than the electric. The electric works like a charm, but it's expensive. It's like 3K, and I didn't have that much money. And medical aid, even for this one, the medical aid did not pay for all of it. I still had to cash up. How much more, for 3,000? Guys, nah, you are, it's a lot. So I didn't buy the electric one, but you can get smaller electric pumps for like, I think they go for about 2,000. Yeah, but a manual one also works best. So this one is like this one. So with this one, you literally have to like, pump. So I was always doing this, and I got tired because I felt like it's too much work, and then I stopped breastfeeding. And then another thing that I did get for my breastfeeding is this little thing. So Teta now uses this as a pillow to sleep on during the day. Okay, yeah. So I used this. So how it works with this is that you take it and you put it around you like this. Then you take your bed and then she's sucking nicely there. And then you are comfortable, you are relaxed, and you're just brushing hair like this. So this is a must-have. I love it because even after she's done breastfeeding, or she can even use it like as a sleeping little pillow to play around with. Sometimes I'd like put her on it when she's on the floor and I wanted to just sit and relax. So yeah, so those are some of the tools that I used while I was breastfeeding. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please let me know about your journey, especially mothers that had an undersupply of milk. What did you do and how was your experience? And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.